Hi, and happy Saturday. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cyber Saturday. And this is another episode of Where in the World is Blake? Well, today I am in beautiful Polson, Montana. Was in Missoula this morning and yesterday, and it's just a beautiful place. If you've not been up here, been up around Flathead Lake, you should get up here. But what do I want to talk about today? Not my travels. I want to talk about LastPass and what do you do if you are concerned about LastPass. LastPass had a couple breaches. People are all excited to move off of LastPass, try something else, try a different solution to protect their passwords, because you really need a password manager. You don't want to be writing it down on paper. But that also means that you're at risk if they have a breach, that something could happen to you. So LastPass had a breach. People were able to, the bad actors were able to download people's password vaults, but LastPass swears that you cannot get the data out of there because only you have the password. They don't store the password. Well, if you are concerned and if you want to move it, the bigger concern actually is not that someone may break into that vault. It's that to move it, if you want to move every file, you have to go and do an export out of LastPass. And it's not just LastPass, it's any of the password managers. You have to go do an export to what's called a CSV file, which is a text file. It's not encrypted, it's not anything else. You save this text file on your computer, and then you go to get another password like password one or there's a number of them that you can then import it to. The problem is that file still sits there unless you securely delete it. So if you ever export your passwords to this file and you want to it's now sitting in plain text. Anybody can log onto your computer. Anybody that somebody gets remote access to your computer, or if you walk away from your computer and somebody sits down, all they have to do is search for a file with the name password, because you probably saved it as LastPass password file of Blake dated March 21st of 2023 or something like that. It's easy to find a password file. You want to make sure you securely delete it. And to securely delete it is a lot more than just telling you in this video. There are tools out there. If you go to Google, how do you securely delete a file, you can find the answers. But the other thing is, ask yourself, is it worth the risk of doing that? And so if you think it's worth the risk of dumping it to a CSV file and importing it, make sure you get rid of it. The only other alternative is to install another password manager and have them both work at the same time. That way, every time you go log into the sites you always use, your new password manager is going to say, oh, do you want me to save this password, in an ideal scenario? But that's what I would do. I would set up a second password manager, and then the ones that I use all the time, the 100 that I use all the time, are going to get captured by the second one in a month or two. And I never have to risk having a CSV file, a flat text file with all my passwords with it on my computer for a bad guy to steal. So that's my recommendation. Do not export your password file to a text file ever, unless you really know how to delete that flat text file. Okay, don't do it. Find another way to transfer it. Create another one and just start using it. But if you have any questions on how to do this, if you have concerns about LastPass or the tools that you're using, give us a call at Colorado Computer Support. Our number is 719-439-0599. And if you like these, please click down below to subscribe. And we'll see you next week.